She said, look, ma, no hands. She said, look, ma, no hands and no dollar. I don't dance because I'm with Roscoe. I'm with Waka. I think I deserve a chance. Okay, I'm done rapping. So today's flow is obviously a no hands flow, which means no downward facing dog, no planking, no anything with our hands planted, putting any pressure. Obviously, hand movement, arm movement is going to be a thing, but we're not putting any pressure on the hands. So this is a really beautiful practice to do. If you have a wrist injury, but you still want to flow, so it's more targeted for the lower half of the body, you're not going to be putting any pressure on your wrists. So let's get it going to the flowing. I don't even, just ignore me and let's do it. So coming to stand at the top of our mat, starting in our Tadasana or our mountain pose, we're going to look down at our feet. We want to make sure all 10 toes are pointed forward. And then you have the option here of bringing your feet hip width apart. You can walk the feet in. So if we're going to do hip width apart, we want to take our right heel into our left arch, spin out, like, I hate using this metaphor, kind of like you're stamping out a cigarette. Please! Hope you don't smoke cigarettes. If you do, that's your choice. Making sure all 10 toes are pointed forward. We're going to take a second here and lift the toes off the mat. So you're going to begin to feel the four corners. I like to take a second and kind of like sway around, almost feeling like you're playing Mortal Kombat and you're at the end of the game and you're going to finish him. So it's that weird, okay, you get what I'm saying, but beginning to kind of rock from side to side, find a little circular motion as we find the four corners of our feet. So it's our behind our little toe, behind the big toe, and on each corner of the heel, as I forgot what that was called. We're going to begin to spread our toes as wide as we can get them, and then you're going to release one toe at a time. So really grounding ourselves down. So beginning to ground down from the waist down. You want to find that place, kind of like a little pelvic thrust. I'm going to start singing Time Warp. Oh God, I got to stop. Finding a little pelvic thrust to where our core begins to engage, drawing that lower rib cage in towards each other, extending our fingertips down at our side, relax your shoulders, taking the gaze forward. So really feeling strong, really finding that tall spine, working on our posture. Feeling as sturdy as a mountain. We can close the eyes if it's comfortable. We can keep the eyes open. We can soften the gaze. I'm going to take a big inhale in through the nose. Exhale out with a sigh. Really begin to release everything. Can take 2 more breaths just like that. Let it go. Let go of your day. Let go of whatever's causing you stress. Give yourself a little smile. We're going to bring our hands to heart center. Still growing tall. Take 1 more breath here. And we're going to take a second to think of an intention for our practice today. So our intention is anything we want, so if we're doing this in the morning, it could be something you just want out of the practice. It could be something you want out of the day for the rest of the day. Whether it's a physical, more emotional, psychological, something you need to let go of. So just taking a moment here, thinking of an intention we want to set. We're going to take a big inhale in as we seal that intention into our heart. Exhale it all out. Give yourself a smile. And on that next inhale, send the fingertips up above you. On your exhale, find a slight back bend. Inhale, we're going to come through to center. On the exhale, bending the knees, we're going to roll it down. So take this motion as slow as you can take it. Roll it down, keep the knees bent. Inhale, we're going to roll it all the way back up. Send the fingers fingertips up above you. Exhale, roll it back down. So we're going to begin to connect our breath and movement on our own time. So inhale sends us back up. Exhale, roll it down. So almost feeling like this is a little bit like doing a cat-cow, but in our standing position. I'm going to do 2 more. Last one. On we take it down. Inhale, grow tall, straighten the legs, send the fingertips up above you, and your exhale, begin to reach it over to the left. Almost like we're holding a beach ball, kind of opening the arms a little bit to relax those shoulders. Inhale, come through to center. On the exhale, we're going to take it to the right. Inhale, we're going to come through to center. On that exhale, we're going to bend our knees and begin to fold forward, grabbing a hold of opposite elbow as we allow ourselves to hang here. We're going to keep a bend in the knees. Little relaxation into the low back. Begin to relax the muscles of the face. And taking a second here, we're going to rock from side to side, finding a ragdoll motion. Relaxing the weight of the head. To bring ourselves to stillness. Keep those knees bent, roll up the spine on the exhale. Inhale, send the arms up above you. So we're still holding on to opposite elbow. Send the arms up. On the exhale, you're going to release your right hand like you're trying to pat yourself on the back. So we're trying to pull, pressing that right arm down, beginning to stretch into the tricep. Exhale, take your right hand, grab a hold of your left elbow, release your left hand, and if you need to adjust, adjust. Just begin to press on that elbow, sending the hand down a little bit more. Exhale, grab a hold of the elbow, big inhale, grow a little bit tall. Exhale, bend the knees as we fold back down. Releasing the elbows on our inhale, we're going to come up halfway, taking the hands to the shins. Finding that neutral spine. Exhale, we're going to fold down. Inhale, bend in the knees, take the fingertips up above you as we come into our chair. So making sure that we can still see all 10 toes. Tuck the pelvis under. We can keep the fingertips extended or release the hands to heart center. One more inhale on that exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, send us up tall. On the exhale, take the left knee in towards your chest, hands to heart center. Take one breath. Inhale, send those fingertips up above you. On the exhale, we're going to send our left foot back, keep the knee bent as we bend into our right knee. There's a wall as I begin to fall over. On your next inhale, we're going to send the left leg back behind us into our warrior 3. Exhale, bend the knee, draw it in behind that right knee. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Last one. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, bending both knees. Inhale, we're going to send it out on that exhale. Bend your right knee. Step your left foot back. Inhale. Sending the fingertips up as we come into our high lunge or crescent lunge. Come back to your breath if you lost it. On your next exhale, we're going to find some like windmill motions with the arms as we begin to work into the shoulders. Take one more breath. You got this. Feel it strong. Inhale. Send it back through to center. Exhale. We're going to step that left knee back in towards our chest. One more breath. On your exhale, we're going to find our tree pose. So we're We're either going to take that left foot to a kickstand as the left knee comes open, or we take it up to the calf, or we're going to send it up into our thigh. So if we're bringing it up to the thigh, you press the thigh into the foot, foot into the thigh to help it from sliding. Hands are going to come to heart center at whatever variation we're at. Really begin to press the hands into each other. Spread those elbows out. Reach your sternum up towards your thumbs, thumbs to your sternum. One more breath. Find your drishti in front of you. Exhale, we're going to send that left knee forward. Send it back behind you. Coming into our warrior three. Send your fingertips back towards your hips, squaring the hips forward. Exhale, we're going to release back down into our high lunge. Send the fingertips up above you, bending that left knee lower down to your low lunge. So taking the tailbone down towards the mat. On your next exhale, release the hands to heart center. Inhale, we're going to reach that heart forward. On the exhale, see if we can take that left elbow to the outside of our right knee. As we press our hands together to kind of help keep us sturdy here, finding a twist. Inhale, we're going to come back through the center. Exhale, tugging the back toes, we're going to lift that back leg. Step it forward to your Tadasana. Big inhale, send the fingertips up. Exhale, hands to heart center, bend the knees, sink it back to your chair. Inhale, we're going to lift up slightly. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, send the fingertips up. Draw that right knee in towards your chest. Exhale, the hands to heart center. Find your balance. On your next exhale, send that right foot back behind you, bring it bend into the left knee. So we're not straightening the leg back behind us yet. Keeping that right knee bent. Inhale, straighten the leg back. Exhale, draw it in behind that left knee. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, draw it in. One more. Inhale, it's going to send that leg back. On the exhale, bend your left knee, planting that right toes. Inhale, send the fingertips up, coming into our high lunge. Finding our strength, grounding into the feet. Your next exhale, we're going to bend the elbows as we begin to open the heart, finding goalpost arms. Inhale, send it back through to center. Exhale, we're going to step right knee back in towards our chest, hands to heart center. And your next exhale, send it back into your warrior three. Exhale, we're going to release the right toes down, begin to bend the right knee. Inhale, send the fingertips up as we come into low lunge. Connect back to the breath. One more here. Exhale, release the hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching the heart forward. Exhale, we're going to try to take that right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Coming into a twist. Inhale, come through to center. On the exhale, tuck your toes, begin to lift your back leg. Big inhale here, exhale, step it forward, right knee in towards your chest. And then coming into our version of our tree, whatever that means. If we fall out of it, just setting yourself back up for Tadasana, going right back into the pose. So we're just taking the weight over into the left foot. Find your drishti. Clear your mind. One more breath. And on your exhale, send your right knee forward. Release it down. Inhale, send those fingertips up. Exhale, bend the knees, sink it down to chair. On your next inhale, send the fingertips back towards your hips. Lift up on your toes. Exhale, send the fingertips forward. Release the heels. Inhale, send it back. Lift up on the toes. Exhale, release the heels. Send it forward. Last one. Inhale, lift up on the toes. On the exhale, stay lifted on the toes. See if you can rise up to standing, sending the fingertips up. Exhale, release the heels down. Inhale, fingertips reach up, lift up on the toes. Exhale, release it down. One more inhale, send it up. Exhale, down. Big inhale here. Then on that exhale, we're going to swing that left foot out wide. So we want to be going at the length of our mat now. Turning the toes in, heels are going out. Big inhale, we're going to send the arms out wide. Exhale, hinging at our hips, we're going to come down halfway as we hover. So holding here. On your next exhale, you're going to shift over towards your right leg. Begin to release both hands over to your right leg. Feeling the stretch in the low back and the hamstrings and the inner thigh. Maybe we feeling it everywhere. Big inhale, come through to center, extend the arms out wide, lifting up halfway. Exhale, shift it over to the left as we take both hands down to the left leg. Inhale, come back through to center, lifting up halfway. On that exhale, just release the hands down, let them rest. Releasing the crown of the head down towards the mat. As we find our wide-legged forward fold. Take a moment here to connect back to your breath. One more breath here. On your next inhale, lift up halfway, extend those fingertips. Exhale, begin to send your right toes forward, bend your knee, rising all the way up as we come into warrior two. On your next exhale, we're going to take our right forearm on top of that right thigh. So we want to make sure we're not pressing our weight into the thigh. We're just letting it rest on top of that right thigh. Left fingertips are going to extend up and over as we come into our extended side angle. Inhale, we're going to come back up through to center. Exhale, release it back down to that extended side angle. Inhale, we're going to come back up. Last one, exhale, send it down. Inhale, back up. On the exhale, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Inhale, through to center. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Take one more breath. Inhale, straighten the leg. We're going to draw our elbows in towards our side. Exhale, turn your right toes forward. And then we're going to take the heels in, toes out. Keep the elbows drawn in at your side. Relax them down. We're going to send the palms up. Take a big inhale here on our exhale. We're going to bend the knees, sink it down into goddess pose. So we're making sure we're tracking the knees above the ankle, taking it back towards the pinky toe. Inhale, straighten the legs. So exhale, bend the knees, sink it down, making sure we're pressing the weight into the heels. We're going to release our hands down to where legs kind of shift from side to side. Then really begin to press your hands into your legs that open up a little bit more, reaching the heart down into the center. Exhale, slowly roll it up, straighten the legs. We're going to take the heels out, toes going to come in. And then from here, we're going to take those left toes as we turn them forward, bend the knees, sink it down to warrior two. So taking a second, we're going to look back at our back arm and make sure it's long and strong. On your next exhale, we're going to release forward as we come into that extended side angle on the other side. Inhale, come back up to warrior two. Exhale, release it down. Extended side angle. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, last one, releasing down. And inhale, come up. On the exhale, flip the front palm. Reverse warrior. Inhale, back into that warrior two. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Take one more breath. Exhale, relax the arms, straighten the front leg. Turn the toes forward. Big inhale, send the fingertips out wide. Open the heart, press it forward, over-exaggerate it here. Maybe even taking the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinging at our hips, we're coming down to that wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, we're going to come up halfway, so we're just going to slide the hands up towards the shins. Exhale, sliding back down towards your ankles. And very slowly bend your knees. Roll it back up to standing. And then from here, boop, stepping it to the top of our mat. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe you're cursing me a little bit in the privacy of your home with your friends. It's totally fine. You're very much allowed to do that. And we're going to take one more breath. Come into your Tadasana. We're just going to ground down, kind of reset ourselves. Remember our intention for the practice that we set. Then from here, we're going to take our feet out to the edge of the mat. So we want to make sure our toes are going out, our heels are going to come in. Take a big inhale here. We're going to send the fingertips up above us. Exhale, bend the knees, sinking down like you're sliding down a wall. We're going to come into our yogi squat or malasana. So we want to keep the hands to heart center, or we can relax the fingertips down to the mat. But making sure we're still pressing the arms into the legs to really open up here. Keep that heart lifted. On your next exhale, however we gonna get there, we come down to seated. So drawing the knees in towards the chest, wrap the arms around the legs, give yourself a hug. As we tuck the chin down towards the chest, find a tall spine. We're just kind of neutralizing here. Exhale, bring that head back up to center. We're going to grab a hold of our left leg. Keep the right knee in towards your chest as we begin to extend that left leg forward. Exhale, we're going to release it down. Take the hands over to the right foot and begin to lift that right leg up. Exhale, release it down. Take a big inhale. We're going to send the fingertips up above us on our exhale. Roll it down your spine. Come all the way down to your back. Send the fingertips down towards your heels. Walk the shoulders underneath your back. Keep the gaze up towards the ceiling. So don't try to look at the screen. With this pose, just make sure we're just listening. Walk the heels in a little bit closer towards the sit bones. On your next exhale, we're pressing into the heels as we lift those hips up, coming into our bridge. So make sure you track the knees in towards the hips. Notice that they begin to splay out. Lift it up. Exhale, begin to roll it down one vertebra at a time. Eventually allowing that low back to be the last to come down. Take an inhale once you get there. On the exhale, one more time, we're going to lift up. And then option here, you can walk the hands underneath the back. So we're walking the shoulders in, interlacing the hands underneath us to begin to lift us up a little bit higher. And if we clasp the hands, we're going to release them. Give yourself a big hug. and roll it down. So begin to bring both knees in towards the chest. On your next exhale, we're going to lift the nose up towards the knees. We're going to cross our arms. So right arm's going to come on top of the left as we try to grab a hold of the feet. Don't worry about it if you don't make it. On your next inhale, we're going to lower ourselves down as we begin to extend the legs. So you can begin to release the hands here, just allowing the legs to come up above you. Exhale, knees back in towards your chest, lift the head and chest. So we're taking the left arm on top of the right this time as we cross, trying to grab a hold of the feet. And on your next inhale, extend those legs up above you. Release the head and chest. You can release the hands. Exhale with as much control. We're going to send the legs all the way down. On your next inhale, send the fingertips up above you. Find a full body stretch. Exhale, we're going to walk both of our feet and both of our hands over to the left. So we're trying to make a little crescent moon shape with our body. You're going to feel the stretch in the right side. Inhale, come through to center. Exhale, walk the feet over towards the right. Take the hands to the right. Find that crescent moon shape. Inhale, we're going to come back through to center. On your exhale, begin to walk the feet out to the edge of the mat. Allow your hands to begin to rest down at your side. Let them fall off the mat. Allow the palms to face up. Tucking the chin slightly in towards the chest. Bringing our neck to a longer extension of the spine. Together, we're going to take one last inhale. So really fill the lungs here. On that exhale, sigh it all out. Begin to feel the body releasing completely onto the mat. Soften your gaze or close the eyes. I always say Shavasana is one of the hardest poses to do. So if this is uncomfortable for you, you can always roll onto your side, coming into our side of rebirth. You can come to a seated position and sit in meditation. Release the practice. Releasing the breath back to its natural rhythm. So release everything and just allow ourselves to be where we are right in this moment. And I thank you always for coming to practice with me. As the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.